Welcome back. And for those of you, I know many of you did not actually leave the session. Thank you for staying on. This business is about showing up. It's about showing up for your business, about showing up in your life. And right now, we are going to go straight to a training that I hope will empower you in your business. So we're always talking about building a business with USGS. In fact, today the topic is building globally with USGS. And to me, this is something that truly is, very, very exciting, because I feel that the difference between our business and whether it's a job like the one that I was in or a traditional business is the fact that the global perspective to it is just so much nearer to you and me than otherwise. Today, I have prepared something very quickly to bring you through how you could actually leverage the USGS, the US Global System resources to help you build your business. To start, let's just get into the right frame of mind. Everything begins with your perception of the business. I don't know whether you are here to run a small business, whether this is just something that's a hobby for you, or, where do you see yourself? Are you a salesperson, a product salesperson, or do you see yourself as an entrepreneur on a mission to help people around the world? Are you running a small mini mart as opposed to you are an online Walmart in the anti-aging industry? Are you looking to make, a small income, $500 extra $1,000 every month, which would make a lot of difference to some people? I know that. Or are you looking to do something that's more esoteric, like 10,000, 20,000, or even in excess of 100,000? Is this a hobby for you? It started out as a hobby for me, and it became a plan B, something that I could get away from my job, from my career that was in the corporate world. And also now I am looking at this as a way to change my life completely. So everything begins with your perception. Your attitude will determine how high you go with this business. So this business, there's some people who have done some most incredible things, I can't even imagine the kind of life that they're living, and that's something that to me shows me that everything is possible. And what determines where you end up with is really your attitude. So for people who have a full-time job, like I did, I started out as a part-timer, okay? And I saw that with my part-time effort, I was meeting people during lunchtime, after work, and I got part-time income. But I also saw that the income was, the potential of the income is so much more than I had thought. So even though there was no guarantee as to how much I could make, I saw that if I could spend more time, I gave myself more chance to actually do better. So what about being an employee? Well, I was an employee, and what I wrote here is really what is in my head. Well, most employees have this is not my job kind of mentality. You do your job well, okay? Sometimes outside of it, it is not your job. Or sometimes we wait for our boss to give us a direction, to give our team leaders to tell us what to do, but that will also then determine, if that's the mentality you're operating in this business, then it will also give you a certain limitation as to how far you could go. Or are you thinking about this as you are your own boss? You make a profit out of solving problems and you take ownership of your business. And personally, I find that, this differences in attitude make a huge difference. It makes the difference in our business. More important than just knowing what to do is actually where are you doing it from? Okay, this is a real business that requires time and effort. There is a learning curve. Make no mistake about it. This is, even though we don't invest a lot of money to get involved in this business, it is a real business that has immense potential. So there is a learning curve, and you need to invest in your own dreams, because that is what is at stake in this business. You are not building to build somebody else's dreams. It's your own dreams. So you need to really look at, whether you are giving this the best shot that you have. So be clear about your direction and what do you want from Jeunesse, because you really do want to know. You want to know where you want to go, because this is what I want to talk about. Because you now have in your hands a system. It is a proven system that can help you. Now, what is a system? Many people ask me, what is the system? And sometimes the word system is used so loosely. People say, do this, do that, follow the system, follow the system. Now, what is the system? Let's use this analogy. Now, if Jeunesse, after my presentation just now, you would know that Jeunesse is, to me, a Ferrari, right? It is the vehicle that can take you to where you want to go. The driver is you. You now get to sit in the driver's seat and say, I want to get to there. I want to get to a rock star lifestyle. I want to get to an extra $5,000 a month, wherever you want to get to. Jeunesse is the vehicle and you are the driver. And the system is the navigation system that you attach to this vehicle. It's your GPS. For those of you who drive, even if you don't drive, you know what a GPS is. With a GPS, you need to input your starting point, where you are, turn it on, it will locate where you are, and then you input your destination, it will bring you there, and it will show you the route. So that is what a system is in our business. And the USGS system is a proven system. Why do I say that? Because, it's not something that is just created out of a trainer's pocket. Somebody who thinks it's a good idea to tell people how to do something. It is actually designed and developed by none other than Mrs. Kim Hui herself. To me, she is the most amazing gift that Jeunesse has given to me in my life. She's a mentor, a friend, and she has such a big heart, and she really wants to use this opportunity to help as many people in the world. So in USGS, she puts in more than 20 years of her entrepreneurial experience. All her, all the mistakes that we're making right now, I can guarantee you that she used to make them when she started in her journey, but now she's helping us to shortcut that process. We don't have to make all these mistakes. We just have to trust that this system is going to show us a way. So our system, many people ask me, what is this system? And what I'm sharing with you here is to me, it's what my appreciation of this particular system is. What is USGS to me? Having been in the system for 4 years now, before it has a name, now it doesn't have a name, now it has a name. USGS to me is a global community of supportive and achievement-driven relationships. We're not here as a social club. We're supportive, but we really all have our end game in mind as well. So we are achievement-oriented. The system is something that teaches us, inspires, and empower actions in every one of us. It doesn't just teach, it really wants you to go out there and make a difference, a real difference in your life. So it comprises of events, information, tools to help you build and duplicate your business. And duplication is a big part of our business, and that is something that's unique to this industry. So the one part, however, that most people don't really see is actually that this system also provides the space for wonderful personal growth. So all in all, I see it as an environment, not a thing. It is really a system, and it creates an environment that nurtures self-motivated entrepreneurs like you and I to be the best possible version of ourselves. We are not static. We don't come in as being successful so that we can be more successful. Nor do we have to be any way to be able to do this business. Wherever you are in your life, that's fine. You choose to come into this business. Now, USGS is a system that can help you to get where you want to get to. So how can the system help you? Just to take out all the, all the fuss around it and all the confusion about it, I see the system as something that can help us to do two very important things in our business. The first thing we need to do is called sorting. And sorting is a process that doesn't just happen at the beginning of the business, but also as the business goes on, you need to continue to sort. So you sort through new business partners. You also want to identify the right business partner. So this is a selection process. Okay, so the system actually helps you to sort. So the business goes on. It also helps you to duplicate all the right ingredients and also help you to duplicate successful business partners. When I was in senior management, I lead teams. Of course, I want to help them. I want to help them to grow. I want to teach them what I know, but there's only one Joanne. There's only one person. I can't do everything. There's a limit to the amount of energy I have, the amount of time I have. But now with a system in place, the individual is taken out of the picture and there is a whole mechanics working for you. Okay, let us look at how we can leverage the system. Now, I first want to touch about the power of leverage. Now, many of us, we start from our home country, and when we do this business, we tend to build locally. That's the right way to do it, in my opinion. If you start to build within people whom you are close to, then that's a good way to build. So you start with one-on-ones, ABCs with your team leaders. You do three-way calls. You may have small group meetings such as home launches, and we call them private business receptions. And if you're lucky in some markets, we actually also have a group of very dedicated leaders who are able to conduct what we call the local opportunity presentations, otherwise known as OPP. Okay, so these are what will help you to build locally. But when we talk about leveraging a system, we want to talk also about big. All right. If you want to grow big, then you want to learn leverage. Well, if you want to build global, then there are a few other tools in our system that can effectively help you to do that. First of all, you must subscribe to the USGS official YouTube channel. When I say you must, it's because there's so many resources in there, so rich a portal that you really can get everything that you need in this business. There are recorded webinars such as today's training, perhaps will be uploaded to there. You've got training sessions that are conducted in the past. All the tools are in there. Actually, if you learn how to use them, you don't really need anything else anymore because they can actually effectively help you to build your business. Now, obviously, we have our weekly Zoom webinars in multiple languages. We have signature events all over the world, from iMore, which is conducted in Mandarin. We have the Live Academy, a new paradigm training, the gratitude tours, and in different markets, depending on your needs, we have ad hoc special events. And of course, last but not least, we have a global relationship network within the USGS community where you have some top-notch leaders who are successful entrepreneurs in their own right, all over the world. Now, when I have a business partner in Hong Kong or in the US, I don't have to go and meet them. I can leverage the system to help me to build. And I'll show you in a minute how you could do that with what we have today. So very often we hear this term, plug into the system, plug into the system. Now, some people go, what do you mean by plugging into the system? It's actually really simple. Now you have the USGS Zoom webinars and trainings. We have about, I think I've lost count, 10 sessions and growing every week. We have them in English, Mandarin, Cantonese, as well as Spanish. As you heard from Yuzil just now, the Spanish trainings have been, the Spanish sessions have been launched last week. So all of these become your opportunities to expose your friends and your team to what is going on in the business. Now that's truly, truly very, very effective and useful. And of course, we have our official YouTube channel. On this channel, you actually will see that the resources, the video resources, have been grouped according to the different stages of our business. You've got step 1, which is prospecting, to help all the new business partners to prospect. Step 2, getting started in your business. Step 3, continuing education that's more on leadership, grooming. And step 4, you actually is somebody who is in a global leadership position. So, you know, this is all of this collectively will give you a very rich environment from which you can learn from. And obviously, plugging into the system also means that you attend USGS events. You know, you are always there, always, no matter where they are. I know some of the trainings may not be in your country, but you know, I have seen the ones who make an effort to show up in these trainings regardless of their circumstances. People who make it happen, you know, people who travel miles to go to another country just to have that learning opportunity. These are the people who succeed because they have a burning desire to make this success their own. Okay, so the system, when we say plug into the system, we're asking you to look at the different tools and to use them to your benefit because they guide us in the different phases of our journey in Jeunesse. So along the way, I mean, I don't know where you can find a business where you are taught to do things along the way. You know, every step of the way, you have someone to show you. You know, when I was an employee, even though I have a boss, I've got supervisors, you know, and eventually I became those people, the boss and the supervisors. It doesn't mean that, you know, people are willing to teach or I teach them everything that I can because there's only so much I can do. But in this business, you know, you have successful people actually showing us how to be as successful as them. So this is something that is to me just a no-brainer. You just need to learn. But you know what? Some of you might be thinking, well, yeah, it sounds true conceptually. It is. To me, it is because several years ago, maybe in the beginning of the business, I didn't truly understand the value of the system. And at that point, we didn't have that many resources. But right now, every one of us, we are very, very blessed to have a system, a full-fledged global system supporting us. So let's see, the phase 1 of our business is when we start our business. Once you've joined, okay, once you've signed up and you are now a part of our Jeunesse Global family, one of the things that most people immediately get very anxious about is how do I then share with people? I don't know what to say. I don't know. I can't talk like you, you know, and that's where we want to take the pressure off you. The system can help you to do this. Look, new business partners or any business, new business partners do not need to become experts in the company, products, compensation plan before you start sharing. The most important skill to learn is to invite people to come and take a look at this opportunity using your own stories. Okay, and now we have a system of tools that will allow you to help your friends through different exposures to start seeing the different facets of our business. Now, everyone can learn to tell your own story, so it's really easy to duplicate. So what we're talking about is that this system is like a funnel for you. It actually helps you to sort, to select the right people, the people who are ready to change, the people who are ready to do the business into your team. So if you look at this diagram on the screen, it's a funnel, and then you invite people, and you just keep inviting these people into our funnel. And in the funnel, you have the webinars, you have YouTube videos, you have events, you've got local OPPs, and you've got different meetings that are held at different times at different places. So all of this collectively will help you to start identifying the right business partner. Now, the USGS Zoom platform is a brand new series of tools that we have rolled out only in April. We're only at the end of April, and we're seeing some phenomenal successes. You know, we have them in multiple languages, and we can reach a global audience because this technology platform is truly very, very powerful. We have working together a group of international leaders and panelists who are here to provide you with the most global perspective of this business. I mean, you don't see in any other businesses where people would just bring together international resources. It seems like it's at will. It's like so easy. You know, there's a lot of hard work that goes in the background, and I really want to thank all the global leaders who have committed themselves, who are contributing to the system. You guys are just amazing. You know, we put together an environment that enrich others as enrich ourselves at the same time. There's so many success stories that you can pick up from these, and this is part of which it's like food for your spiritual senses. You see people working from when they're bankrupt and they pay off their debts, or when they turn their lives around, you know, when they're down or they're already very successful and yet they found another way to go even higher. I mean, all these success stories, they're just such positive energy that feeds into every one of us. The training from the top leaders, all these come from people who have walked the talk. They actually have gone through the journey, and they're here to share with us. So the Zoom platform, I think, is an incredible gift to every one of us who are in USGS. Later, I'm going to spend a little bit of time to share how you could use more of that. Now, USGS Zoom webinars, there are a few ways you can look at utilizing it. Obviously, for prospecting, you want to invite your prospects anywhere in the world to find out how the Jeunesse opportunity and the prospects could help, the products could help them in their lives. You could also use this as a tool for duplication when you plug all your business partners into these sessions. You know, look, I'm doing the training for you, and I'm telling and sharing with every one of you how you could use this to build your business. You just need to invite your people to the platform and just sit there, watch together with them, smile, and at the end of it, work with them to apply what they have learned. This is the fastest way to duplicate your business anywhere in the world. You know, to have a business in more than a few countries is going to take a lot of time and effort to manage if you didn't have a system. But right now, we have an amazing tool for you to help you duplicate. At the same time, if you yourself make it a point to plug into every of this webinar, you are learning and growing. You have no idea. Even if you don't understand everything that people are saying, but you can absorb the energy, you can listen. And I like what a friend of mine has said. She said that you're learning through osmosis. You know, you actually literally get the energy and the vibe and not just knowledge and stories, but that's a great morale booster, not only just for you, but for everyone who is on the webinars themselves. But this is a really smart and efficient way to prospect. You do not need to be expert in products, compensation plan, or company before you share. I repeat that. You just need to learn how to use the system to help you to build the business as you learn about the business. You see, most people, when we come into, I mean, I'm like that, you know, I have a master's in applied economics, so I understand the value of having knowledge. I understand how important it is to feel that you have answers to every question that you are being asked before you go out and tell people. But guess what? In this business, you don't need that. I mean, how stress-free can it get? As you learn about the business, you will eventually become very good in explaining what the products can do, what the comp plan is about, and what the company is about. But as you go through the learning process, make sure you are spending time. My recommendation is spend time to learn how this system can help you to build a business. Let the experts talk for you. Save your time and energy on the important things, like connecting with people, like understanding what do they need in their life. There's a common misunderstanding that we have to convince people to come and join us. In this business, convincing is the last thing you need to do. If you find yourself spending a lot of time convincing people, then you're not doing it the right way. I did. And I am somebody who loves to talk. Okay, so in the beginning, I didn't find it a problem. But after a while, I got really tired. I didn't have that much time to go through all the people that I'm trying to reach out to. And I felt that it was too slow. So that's when I learned how to use the system to help me to sort through people, to prospect smarter and more efficiently. So importantly, you want to learn to ask the right questions to help you to identify the needs, and then you offer solutions, a process we call FORM. Okay, the goal is to invite your prospect to look at Jeunesse as a possible solution to the problems that they're facing in their lives. Or if they have no problems, then it will help them to get something else, something more in their lives. So just a quick overview of what prospecting is. I know most of you probably already know this by heart. Okay, for me, the basics of prospecting cover 5 separate steps. First, you need to create an opportunity to connect and warm up with someone. Set up an appointment, whether it is a Skype call, whether it is a coffee, just make sure that you have an opportunity to talk to someone. It could be over text, it could be over WhatsApp, but face-to-face is probably the best. Okay, so that helps you to connect with someone. Step 2, you got to identify the needs. While you are interacting with the person, you'll probably learn how, where they are in their lives, and that's really important. Step 3, learn to invite. Step 4, you showcase using our system tools. And step 5, you must follow up and ask the closing question. So that's the basics of prospecting. So let's go through them very quickly. So in FORM, for those who are not aware of what this is, that means you haven't watched some of our trainings, especially the one by Mrs. Kim Hui herself, Turning Your Dreams into Reality. Okay, that's on our official YouTube channel. You can get it there. Well, FORM is a process where you find out what the prospect's needs, wants, desires, and the pain points are. Pick their interest in how you can help them. So FORM, as we normally say, form, is actually a short for family, occupation, recreation, or money. Okay, it just kind of guide you. I mean, really, I found that when you're having conversations with your friends, when you sit down and have a coffee, when you're on the phone, what do you talk about? You talk about your family, you talk about what are you doing now? How's the work coming along? Are you still working with that horrible boss? When have you last gone on a holiday? 10 years ago? You haven't gone on a honeymoon yet? What about money? Kids, they need more money. My son is going to school. I don't know if I've got enough money to give him the education we want, so on and so forth. The form process is no different from what our regular conversation is with people. This is something that we can all do easily, as long as we're sharing from our heart. As long as we know that we're here to make a difference to some people, we don't need to worry, may think that we want something from them. Okay, so you have to be clear about your role as being somebody who really wants to help someone else. So the invitation. So if somebody says that, what, so if you were to talk to me, for example, and I start telling you, oh, I've been working for 17 years, but I don't know, I've been changing jobs after jobs. I'm in senior management now. I just can't see what's the next level is. I don't want my boss's job, and I don't want to change to another job again, after so many times. I don't know what to do. And if you hear that from me, then here is something that you might say as an invitation. If I can show you a way to get out of the rat race, or retire before you're 50, or make extra money to save for your children's education, might you be open to find out more? It's kind of like, if I can show you a way to fill in the blanks, might you be open to find out more? That's a very unthreatening, very, very risk-free type of invitation. It goes to show your friend that you are listening for what they are looking for in life, what might help them, and you may have a way to help them. Okay, now some of us will say, what, I may not have the opportunity to do a proper FORM, which is, I would strongly recommend that you do. Try and do at least, ask a few questions about their life so that you get a sense of where they are. But if you really, really have no such chance, or after a discussion find out that the person is not willing to open up, then you may say something like, I do not know what you may be looking for in your life, but I strongly recommend that you spend an hour to watch this live global business showcase. Then you can decide if this business can help you. Okay, that's something that's you know, you want to value add without sounding too pushy. It is really, the ball is in their court. The decision is up to them to make. I want to just mention a couple of things here, because when we have so many webinars every week, and we know that they're recurring events, they happen every week. So sometimes, being the considerate friend that we are, we tell them that, oh, it happens every week. Month over month, we will have all these people coming online to talk to you. So if you can't do it today, you can do the next one, you can do the next one. Don't do that. You want to offer 2 time options maximum. So if you know that we're going to have 2 different webinars this week, and you know this person is working, for example, so office hour timing is probably not a good time, then you offer them a time that will work for them. You have to create the urgency for them to take actions. So if you offer them many, many, many options over the next entire month, guess what? They're going to say, let me look at my schedule, I'll come back to you. And this person is not going to tell you when they are free, because nobody is free. We're all busy. Even when we are busy, we may be busy watching the TV, which may not be the most productive activity, but you know, it's up to us to decide how we spend our time. So for us, please have a sense of urgency yourself. So when you're inviting somebody to come onto the webinar or any of the other tools, do not give them too many options. Okay? Reminder, specifically for Zoom especially, you have to guide them to set up Zoom, because it's such a new platform. Not many people might have heard of it. They may not know it. So help them to set up Zoom on their phone. You can have an app, or on their computer. It's also an app, okay? And log in at the right time, especially if they're in different time zones, because we have different time zones to cater to different people all over the world. So make sure you pick the right one. Now, after they have attended the webinar, of course, the day itself, you got to make sure that you follow up with them and make sure that they are actually attending the webinar. So after the webinar, make sure you follow up. You have to not be shy, okay? You got to ask them, would you like to make a small investment for a future or for a return that your current circumstances would not be able to provide you? Now, this is not a script, but it's some, you get the drift. It's, you need to ask that question. You're not going to invite them, watch the webinar, and then just stay at home and then just twiddle your thumbs and wait for them to come back to you. So you have to ask them, follow up after the webinar, follow up, follow up, follow up. You could also ask, can you see Jeunesse making a difference to your life? Can you see yourself doing this business? All those questions will have them tell you what they feel, what they sense, what they see after the webinar. They may have extra questions or may be ready to sign up. And if they are, sign them up. Okay, so this is the process that you can use with this webinar. Look, our whole business is all about sorting. Now, sorting is a selection process. Not everyone will say yes to your invitation. But if you do it right, most people will at least listen to the opportunity. Okay, you will definitely get people who will say no to you, but understand that what they are rejecting is the opportunity to change their lives. They're not rejecting you. So don't take it personally and feel very attached to a no. Okay, and oh my God, I've had 3 no's. Oh my God, I can't do this business. Okay, so that's a typical, even if you've been in the business for a long time, people still feel that way. Trust me, I've been there. We're going to share authentically, be honest, and with a caring heart. Know where we are coming from. We want to make a difference to someone, to your friend, to your family, to your loved ones. When you're sharing, be honest and know that you are trying to help them, and listen from helping them as opposed to trying to get them to buy something from you. That's not the purpose of this business. Okay, so if you are able to put yourself in the right mental environment and know what is the role that you're playing, then you are in a much better position to go through this process and enjoy it. So everything starts with our contact list. Now, if you have not done a contact list, please do. I'm not going to give you a training on how to do that. There's plenty of training, and I know it is the basic part of our business. It is not about how many people we know. It is about whether you've done enough and if you've done it right. This is a really simple yet professional business. Our role is to bring people into the funnel. Our system is the USGS electric funnel, not the manual one, okay? Don't sort through manually and exchanging your time just to find the right person. Use this USGS system to help you to go through the different people so as to identify the gems. This is not a small business. You got to bring the attitude to match it, the determination, the commitment to want to really be successful in it. Must invest in your own learning and become a master. When you bring new business partners into the system, we earn as we learn through taking actions. Let me just remind you that the system helps us to build a global business and to duplicate our success. So this chart comes from our beautiful double diamond Yvonne Yen. In fact, many of the things that I have shared with you today come from her and all the top leaders that I have learned from. This is the process. Over time, you learn to do something. So when you first join the business, you are taught to do certain things. And you may not understand everything, but my recommendation to you is just do it. As you do, you will understand why when you do it. Instead of assessing and judging if something is the right thing to do it and duplicate it. You have to practice enough for you to actually get good at something and realize, oh, I could do it a slightly different way or not. Sometimes the reason and the essence and the wisdom of why we do what we are told to do comes to us in the process of doing. So we observe and then we adjust and then we go back to basics. And it's always that loop. We keep doing that. Once we become masterful, once we actually can see why we are doing what we are doing, we can then start to teach others to duplicate the same actions. As long as the actions are simple, you duplicate them, it's going to be really, really easy. When you become a student to a master, that is the process. And every one of us go through this process. I'm going to end this presentation, this sharing with you with a few gentle reminders. If you are smiling and nodding, then I know that you have watched the training. This business is simple to do, but it's simpler not to do. And I find that this sentence applies to everything that I have told you today. What I've said to you is not rocket science. It sounds so commonsensical. It is part of our day-to-day conversations with people, getting everything right, wanting to help, offering solutions, things that we do on a day-to-day basis. Yet, you know what? It is simple to do, but it is simpler not to do. Most people, we get distracted by our own thoughts, by our own judgments and analysis. Trust me, I have a master's degree. I'm very good at analysis, and I spend a lot of time trying to see if something is good, not good, can be better. And I wasted a lot of time doing all of that. And now all I'm doing is that I'm telling myself to just follow the system the way it is designed. When you are told to do something, go ahead and do it. Do it, and then if it doesn't work, you can come back and then learn more. Ask your leaders, why isn't it working on me? But know that all of the things that we have learned come from people who have walked the path. We can have confidence that we are not being taught something in a theoretical sense. It is real practical advice. Two very important things to me is that consistency. You have to be consistently doing it, not just do. You got to do it right. And if you're not getting the results you want, then maybe you're not doing it right. And don't just hit yourself on the head about it and kick yourself. Just go back and learn and keep refining and refining until you become a master. Consistency. Persistency is the next thing that we have to pay attention to. Look, most people, you try something once, twice, 3 times, and you say it doesn't work. And then you stop. And then you look for something else. Go out there and you look at many other experts or so-called experts to teach you to do something that you think you want to achieve. But if you don't persist, and I'm talking about really, really doing something over and over again for a minimum 3 months. If you're willing to follow the system without question for 3 months and put in massive actions, I can guarantee you, watch your business transform. That's what happened to me. After being a sapphire for 2.5 years, I became an elite only because I made that mental switch. I tell myself I'm going to start from zero again. I'm just going to do everything I was told to do. I'm not going to question anything. And I did it for 6 months and I became a sapphire elite, something I tried to achieve in 2.5 years and couldn't do. Within 3 months of becoming elite, I became a Ruby director. So it's not by chance. It is truly not by chance that I end up where I am, because I believe I learned all of that so that I can share this with you. Be consistent in what you are doing. Persist enough, long enough. You can't pay attention to every barking dog along the way. If every dog's going to bark at you and you're going to stop and try and pacify the dog or feed the dog or do something to the dog, you're never going to reach a destination. Persist for minimum 3 months, I would say. In this business, do it for a year. I hope that this particular training is helpful for you. If you have any questions, the best person to ask would be the person who invited you or the person in your team who is your leader. I hope that we are able to use the USGS system to go and impact more lives on this earth. I believe that every one of us is here for a reason. I believe every one of us who is now right online hearing what I have to say today is here for a reason. If you found something useful in what I said today, please, please, please take it, apply it, use it, learn, use, go touch more lives. Through USGS, we are making a difference in this world. I hope that I will see many of you somewhere in the world. I can't see many of you because I don't have the screen full of pictures, but if you do see me, please come and say hello. All right, take care. Have a really productive week and have a great life. Bye-bye. If you see something for yourself, get back to the person who shared this video with you. And don't forget to subscribe to the official USGS YouTube channel to receive future videos.